Hey everybody, and I do mean everybody. Everybody who wants to be here, needs to be here, and should be here is here. Welcome to the space where we share meaningful, useful stories that help you and offer some meaningful, useful solutions that heal you. I am your new host, the Mushy Guru. So let's get into it.
Well, hello, my everybody's, and I do mean everybody. Everybody who wants to be here, needs to be here, and should be here is here. Welcome to the space where we share meaningful, useful stories that help you, but offer some meaningful, useful solutions that heal you. I am your host, the Mushy Guru, so let's get into it. And again, like I always like to say, I believe that everybody has a story to tell, but it's up to you to decide if you want to share it or not. But I'm here for it. I can't wait to hear all the amazing stories. But for today, I'm not in the studio space. I'm out here. Actually, I was passing by this movie theater, which you all know I love a good story. Not to go to a movie at all, just in between my here and go and there and everywhere today. But I really wanted to tap in on this movie theater background and what it provoked me to think about today. It made me think about what version of yourself that's on demand for the world to pop up and pull up are you showing up for, or that you're sharing, and that is being told about you that you put out in the world. So I guess my question is, what version of yourself is on demand for everybody to see at any point and pull up on demand because you put it out there? What made me think about this particular topic as I drove by this empty movie theater today? Not that I get an opportunity to go to see one. I hadn't been into a movie theater in a long time. What was this weekend, I decided to do something that I didn't know if I was going to do or not, or take the time to do, even though it's been so talked about and, recognized as a phenomenal movie, depending on, yourself or your choice of genre for storylines. You may or may not have seen it or wanted to see it, but the movie Wicked. So, of course, in my mental space, I'm like, do I really want to, see, Wicked? I remember when it first came out, years ago in the theater, I was like pressed to see it, but I never had a chance to go. And then when it came out again with so many great characters and actresses involved, I was like, it would be cool. But as a mom, what kind of haunted me into it was the fact that my daughters, that are both under the age of 15, wanted to see this movie. One of my daughters, the oldest, she was cool. She just wanted to go see it at any point. And then my youngest, she did not want to go see this movie unless her bestie was going to be able to attend with her. And I knew, in the moment of time that wasn't going to happen when she wanted to, because they lived, many states apart from each other. So time went on, never saw the movie. Well, one weekend, hanging out with some cousins, the movie was already, guess what, on demand, and I had the opportunity to tap in. So I did. But, it was a long night that night, and I think maybe 40 minutes into the movie, I didn't get to finish. And I saw that it had a part 2 and about 2 hours to go. So I was like, oh man, I'll have to check this out another time. So at that moment, I was visiting with a cousin, and this cousin, one of my boy cousins, we grew up together like brothers. And he reminded me how much I loved the movie The Wizard of Oz. And what was so funny is, as much as I know that personally, it's not anything that I think about or dwell about. Matter of fact, if you were to ask me what is my favorite movie just off top, my go-to is always gonna be The Last Dragon. Like, I am Bruce Leroy. I don't know if you know that or not, but I think I really liked it because it was my first romantic movie I got to see at a movie theater, and see black love. It was great. But anyway, if you've never seen The Last Dragon, go check it out. But my cousin was like, you used to love The Wizard of Oz. You would talk about it all the time. You would want to reenact the scenes. And it is so true. I love The Wizard of Oz. So I know years ago, they had another movie come out called Oz, The Land of Oz, and I liked that movie too. So when Wicked came out and I got to see this version, 40 minutes, I was like, okay. I was trying to get into it because I love the musicals, love the talent. But I was, trying to really figure out the character of, the backdrop, the story of the Wicked Witch. And I guess, like, recently, about a day or two ago, I actually sat down and watched the end of it without my children, because I was like, you know what, now I'm invested. Forget them. I want to see the movie. It is Women's Month. This is going to be my little treat for myself. So I sit down and I watch that movie at the end. I had to replay it a couple of times. And when it got to the end and it said, "To be continued," after 2 hours and 45 minutes, I was absolutely aggravated and frustrated, because I felt like I didn't get all I wanted to get about the Wicked Witch and her backstory. Like, I had so many questions. It made me frustrated. So this new version of the Wizard of Oz that had to be told left me hanging, left me feeling like, what in the world? And is this the backstory that I want to have about the characters that I loved as a child? And I know you guys are like, this almost 50-year-old woman standing in the movie theater parking lot talking about this movie Wicked in the middle of the week. What else does she have going on? Well, actually, to your point, I'm just taking a little mental break and, knowing that I need to stay consistent with my content and do some great things to keep encouraging myself as I encourage you, as I build my platform as the Mushy Guru and bring on these meaningful, useful stories that help you. And so the meaningful, useful story here is, what version of yourself are you creating and allowing to show up? And when you create that version, and now it's on demand for the world, because they get to decide, how they think of you, your first impression, a lasting impression, how you treat people on a regular. Those are the versions that they're pulling up. And so just like Wicked, I might be sitting here thinking, okay, am I going to care about the part 2? Am I upset that the young lady that had the green face, how she came about according to that director's point of view versus the Land of Oz? All these different versions now that I have of this story that I once just loved as being the Wizard of Oz is now out here floating around for me to criticize, for other people to, love, and for people to just, be entertained by. Because at the end of the day, we all just have a moment of time where we invest in others, and then we're on about our own worlds and doing our own thing. And so that's why it's important for you to make sure that the version of yourself that's on demand for others is the one that you want told. You know what I mean? Think about that. Make sure that the version of yourself that you're putting out in the world is the one that you want told. So that just means you have to be intentional about how you show up in the world. I know we progress and become things that, we once were not, and now we are, because of stages of life, because of a season of life, because of circumstances, because of different things. But we have to remember to allow different positive scenarios, whatever it is in your life, that allows you to move to the place of becoming what I think God created you to be, which is the most important, that you are showing up in those spaces intentional. So that when people go back and pull up your on-demand personality, that you're proud of what they got to see and who, you were in those moments that unfortunately sometimes can never be erased out of a person's memory. Just like me, I'm sitting here thinking, am I going to care enough to go watch the second part of the Wizard of Oz that now is Wicked, that also, was the Wiz? I mean, just all these different versions that somebody's point of view got to share about particular characters that, exist in the world. You exist in the world. Your life matters so much, and what you have to offer is so impactful to the people and the audiences that are assigned to you. So on today, as you sit back and enjoy your Thankful Thursday, and you get rest so that you can complete your rest of your story, because that's what the platform is about, the Mushy Guru, just remember, be intentional about those moments in your life so that when people are pulling up the on-demand, you can stand by that. You can stand by that integrity. You can stand by that character. You can stand by the person you say you are, even if you are different from who you once were when they knew you. So I hope that was a good note for you today. And, as I figure out this platform and how I want to show up as the Mushy Guru, helping you with your meaningful, useful stories that help you, and also offering some solutions and creating platforms and conversations that help you get in alignment with, or at least, giving you a nugget to get in line with where you're trying to go in life. I hope this encouraged you, because that's what I am. I'm an encourager. So enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I will see you next week, same time. And maybe next time I'll have an amazing woman to highlight. We'll see. Next Thursday. But in the meantime, be great.
It's been great being with you. And remember, our words, good or bad, they have power. So the next time you feel like some negativity is about to fall off your lips about yourself, take this one word of advice. Hush your mouth. Until next time, it's the Mushy Guru.